Hello Mother Huckers! Hello Mother Huckers! I got you to ask me some questions for me to give you completely unqualified advice to. How do you cure anxiety? I was never diagnosed with anxiety, but if you look at me, I was the perfect example of a super anxious kid. So what I realized was that no one really thinks of you too much, so don't agonize over that pimple or whatever, no one cares. Worrying about bad things happening does not physically do anything to prevent that from happening at all, it just makes you more sick. Worrying means you suffer twice, and it's easier said than done, but if someone like me who is an anxious wreck can fix themselves, then there's hope. How does one look so stunning without effort? Oh, thank you Lou, but I actually do put in a lot of effort to how I look. Kind of what it's like being a woman, isn't it? Especially on the internet. How do I adult? Well, first of all, no shade, but I don't like it when people use the word adult as a verb. It's just the state of being, and it just means you're a bit older than a child and you have more responsibilities. So the way that you adult is you just assess all the responsibilities you have, tackle them, and still maintain that childhood spirit, because otherwise you're just a husk of a being. What's your opinion on long-distance relationships? Oh boy, I know a lot about this. Oh, long-distance relationships can be really good to test your commitment, loyalty, patience and all that stuff, but it's super difficult, and I can't imagine what it would be like to be in a long-distance relationship right now when it's so difficult to even go to a different state if you're in Australia or the US. Yeah, the pain of missing someone, it's so... nah. Just don't even be in relationships at all, that's my advice. What's one lesson you've learned this year with the way 2020 has played out? 2020. Life is gonna throw shit at you. Sometimes you can't control everything, and the best thing you can do is just go, well, this shit is happening. Good, I'll work around it. Why should I be stressed and vexed over something which I can't control at all? Emmy political career win. Never! There's so much more beyond politics. So many social problems we see today have barely anything to do with politics itself. It's something deeper. So if we can address the deeper stuff, then hopefully all the political garbage will be less toxic, but that's unlikely. How do you find out what you want to do in life, career-wise? Well, assess your interests and your skills, what you're really good at or what you can improve in. Then look at the job market and go, where's there a gap? And then you squeeze in. And you can have a whole list of jobs that you want to do. Realistically, people now are more likely to change their career 6 or 7 times. So even if you can't really decide, it's all good. You'll probably be fired or, I don't know. Stuff will happen and you'll change paths multiple times. You'll have a few flavors of careers. If you can't decide what you like, decide what you definitely do not like. What is your personal philosophy on existence and why do you believe it? Something put us here to experience what it's like to be a human being. I don't know how we got here, I don't know why we're here, and I don't care. Basically, I just want to make the most out of this body I've been given, this voice that I have, just grab life by the... and just... You know, sometimes it feels like people take existing for granted. There's so many potentials for you to be dead and you're still here, so have you ever loved anyone more than you love yourself? I don't think so. I love lots of people, but the main receiver of my love is myself, because I have to live with myself every single day, every second of my existence. Might as well love myself. What's the best way to motivate myself out of bed? Okay, you'll hear all these cliche things like, put your phone on the other side of the room. Ugh, that doesn't work. Just lie there for a bit more and think, how will I feel if I stay in here for another 30 minutes or 50 minutes? You're just gonna feel less rested and you'll feel annoyed at yourself that you didn't get up. Another thing, just count down from 5, so go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get your ass out. this video is just shit. Another thing, just have something to look forward to. A lot of the enjoyment that you get from life is from anticipation. Even if it's tiny, just romanticize your life a little. How to deal after a breakup? Well, as I said earlier, I've never loved anyone more than I love myself. And also you need to have something in your life aside from your significant other that you can't live without. Something that you adore. So for me, I love creative things. If I had to choose between a partner or doing my creative path, I wouldn't even flinch. I don't need a partner. God, I sound like all those women. I don't need no man. Yeah, just put all your heart and soul into that. Speaking of creative outlets, how did you find one? I've tried pretty much every hobby and sport that I was given the opportunity to as a kid, and I would stick with it for maybe 2 weeks and ditch it because it was just boring. But making videos and writing and stuff, I've always loved it. So find something in your life which you always gravitate back to and just stick with it and see how far you can go. How do I date a girl who is physically way out of my league? Can you answer me that? Okay, let me tell you. This applies to men as well in terms of unattractive women. I know it's cliche that personality is more important than looks. So if you're someone you're clean, you groom yourself, you wear fashionable clothes that suit you, and you're pleasant to be around, you'll totally be able to find someone who is supposedly way out of your league. And I know so many couples where one person is a total bombshell and the other one is I mean, they might not physically be the most gifted genetically, but there's something so attractive about their personality and the aura that they have. So don't worry about being super slim or skinny or muscly or tall or whatever. That doesn't really matter in the long run. And everyone ends up old and wrinkly anyways. How do I clean the rubber part of my shoe? Well, this happened to me a few months ago. I stood in dog doo-doo, which I was very pissed off about. But you know what? Everyone has to go to the toilet, and this dog chose that place and I chose to step on there. So you take a hose from outside, blast that shit off, then take a scrubby brush and just scrub it. Keep your mouth closed. I beg you to keep your mouth closed in a distance. I go to a tough high school. Should I go balls deep studying or try other stuff like learn the guitar? Well, depending on how naturally academically gifted you are, it might take a little more effort. I did quite well in school Believe it or not, this numpty actually did really well in school. Always condense your notes into bullet points. Do not copy a textbook word for word. That's just a waste of time. I know so many people at my school who did that and they learned nothing. Boop. That's it. What? Put in the minimum amount of work you need to do to get the highest grade possible and then go learn guitar, while the other chumps are doing their 30 pages just to get the same grade as you, know? That's just dumb. How does one pose in prom photos? I love photos and I love posing. So what you do is you practice in the mirror at home. Don't be stiff in photos, kind of be relaxed. Be relaxed. You want to do poses where you don't have your arms close to your body. You want to show some curves. Just really channel that confidence inside and you will look beautiful. Could you do an outsider's perspective on the treaty process in Aotearoa versus Australia? No, this is where I'm absolutely 100% unqualified. I don't remember any of that from school. But one thing I remember is that I share the same birthday as the guy in Australia who created the Lost Generation. Yeah, the guy, I think it was I don't know. This guy created legislation to basically remove Aboriginal children from their families. That's terrible. What made you want to get into filmmaking outside of YouTube? Well, YouTube is a platform. It's not solid. It's not going to be there forever. Something could happen any day where your channel gets deleted. Wow, I support wildlife, but not when it's noisy. Can you hear the birds? Alright,